go post about this. Alright, I'm just putting out a quick social media post about this, so I'll be right back. Alright, let's get started. I don't even know if I care if anybody watches, because I ran into this issue myself where I clicked to log in here and I logged in through GitHub and I hit this nice blank page. So I also got this running locally. Hopefully. Nope, don't have it running right now. So we are going to start and test, and we'll see how this goes. So the issue is a blank page after login. Pretty self-explanatory. Looks like there might be some sort of data issue. And so we want to go into repository goals. And let's see. Looks like right here. Yeah. Okay. So it can't read property data of null. So repository is getting set to null from something. We'll have to find out what. Alright. So this seems to be a more pervasive issue than Brian described here. Because I've literally never logged in, especially locally, before today. So we'll get this set up. Alright, so repository is coming from a goals reducer. Which is giving us null, but not throwing an error. Okay. So the first thing that we could try is adding to this. First we'll try optional chaining here because I like optional chaining. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, which it looks like it doesn't, we will use the old school repository and we have data, and we should probably also go ahead and make sure repository data text is a thing before we try and JSON parse it into data. So that's not used until listing the goals, which right now I wouldn't expect me to have any goals. So let's see. Let's get a glimpse here. Cool. So this is what we were supposed to see. But let's go back into the code and just look at what repository is at this point. Because it could be that it's trying to get a repository that doesn't exist. Property login. No. Okay. So something right here broke on the hot reload. Is it actually broken? Oh, yeah, so repository is just null up in here. Wonder if that user thing is something I'll run into more. So it looks like it's struggling to keep me logged in. Not really sure why. Or where users even coming from. So let's do a search and find out where this is used. Okay, so we've got the dashboard here. And that's passing user in. But repository itself is where user looks to be coming from. So or dashboard. That's probably what it's called in the other place. Let's test. Containers dashboard. So containers dashboard is what we've got here. And it's destructuring user and match. This test isn't even passing user. Let's see. But it's passing other things that aren't related. So we want containers dashboard because this isn't where it's actually used. It's an app. All right. So here is app, and user is coming in as a prop to app, which sounds interesting, but it means that it's probably not even something I would have. Well, maybe I should have it here, and it could just be a hot reloading problem, because these are all guarded with dashboard. I'm not sure what auth is doing. Looks like a higher order component, so let's go glance at it. So if it says we're logged in, we render the thing and pass it user, or gets a handle login hero. So is logged in is apparently different from user. Is logged in. Alright, here's our actual index. That's what I'm talking about. So, auth is... My main goal right now would be to just avoid having to refresh after a hot reload. So this tells me user and logged in status, which uses local storage. So that would be why it's probably breaking. It's in local storage. It probably says I am logged in, but user starts off null. So that first render will get user as null with our logged in status as true. And we won't fix that till this use effect runs. So we should probably account for that. That will probably be less code change. So in the dashboard, hey Ryan, good luck with Fortnite. Hopefully things go well. I'm still working for a little while, so there's that. Alright, so if we come into repository goals, we can guard passing that down, and hopefully we now don't get that warning. But I don't want to just blindly pass that down if it expects it. Yeah, so this is expecting it to be defined, it looks like. So guarding that is probably not what we want to do. But what is this check? So this check is for repository and issues. Or we come down here and pass down user. But if we don't have user, what should we pass down? So this does go into the GitHub API and gets the owner ID. So it takes a string. So my concern right now, why I don't want to just pass that in and not try and guard against it, is I don't want this button to be broken. So that looks to have worked. Let's go see if it actually added a repo for me. So many things that I probably, I don't know. Does it do, here we go. So it did create a repo. So let's go ahead and delete that. And something that I was wishing I had right now was the React DevTools, because apparently I don't have them installed in this browser. So now, if we refresh, we can hopefully get some DevTools going on. There we go. Alright, so create goals. So that just takes in a string with the user name, because we don't want to pass in undefined if we can avoid that. So let's do a guard here, or just do an empty string. Strings must use double quote apparently. And let's probably check the GitHub docs. I have no idea. Oh, probably on the latest, I would guess. So query. What are we looking at? Looking at user. Yeah, so this looks up a user by login. It says it's supposed to be not null, I think is what that exclamation mark means. So I'm semi-curious what it would do if you pass it an empty string. I guess I can pass it an empty string and find out. So, create goals. Let's say that we got that load that was broken. And we create goal workspace. Might not have worked the way I wanted. Yeah, it picked it up. So, since that picked it up, we'll go delete it again. One of the benefits of being a first-time contributor is that repo has nothing in it for me, so it doesn't hurt me to delete it as many times as I need to. That was a nice little dynamic update. Alright, so let's hard code user here to be an empty string and see what that does when we click on it. So it cannot read property user of null. Oh, because that's a big destructuring. Dang. Alright, so they just give back null apparently. That's cool. Yeah, so here could not resolve to a user with the login of empty string. Yeah, so data GitHub null. So data GitHub user was then null. And it couldn't get ID off. So realistically, what we should probably do is, for now, come up here and do this. Because realistically, while this button is nice and big, I can't imagine very many people will click on it without actually reading what it's going to do. Which should be enough time to make sure that's up to date. And it could just be only an issue during dev when we hot reload. Anyways. But repository can definitely be null. And we don't want that to break for us. So I think that this will fix the blank page. After login, let's go ahead and do an npm build. And then, is there like a production start? Script start. Script start. Doesn't look like you do production. So I did a build. Oh, that's because you just do a serve. So cd build npx serve. That should get it running. Localhost 5000. Okay, so we log in. Oh. Apparently localhost 5000 is not an option. So think that's what I want to do. Nope. Alright, let's see if serve will let us do a port of 3000, because it looks like that's the one that we want. No idea how to change the port with serve. So let's see. I wonder if they even support it. It's gotta be in this file, because I don't think they had any other files. Yeah, I don't think they had any other files in the source, at least. So what? I wonder if there's a different repo that has the actual serve logic and that's just the handler. Yeah, this one. Bin, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so you should have the default port in here somewhere. So let's see if your CLI help is more helpful than I thought it would be. Yeah, here we go. npx serve-l 3000. Okay, so now we should be able to come here, go to 3000 and still have our production build. Yes, and we are logged in now. So let's see. I want to write a test for this. But I don't think I know enough right now about where repository is coming from to actually do that. Because it's coming from goals reducer, which I looked at briefly. So get just tries to pull state.repository. But I'm not currently sure where goals reducer is coming from. Slash where state is coming from, I guess I should say. Because it looks like we're just doing a use persistent state reducer. So it'll persist the state. So if I go to application then, wonder if it's using session storage. Nope. So I don't know where it's persisting that, but somewhere goals reducer is persisting. But at any rate, it's trying to give us back state of some sort. With a get. And so we only had to change, it looks like, 2 lines to fix this issue. And hopefully that actually fixes it everywhere that it's happening. So let's take another look at the original GitHub issue. So log out while on the dashboard goals, log in again and see blank. So in his screencast here, logs in and gets it blank. He was on /repos something or other. Yeah, he's on some sort of repo. So then this other one. So we go to home, click on login, which we just did. Click on the user profile in the top right. Okay. And then click the back button. So that might have actually been the other line that I changed that was causing that one. Let's see what this error is. Yeah, cannot read property login of null. So this should fix both of those issues. I should actually leave that one open because I'll need to reference it in my PR. So I don't think we actually need to look into Brian's solution more, because the only page that's been reported as blank so far that I've seen is this main dashboard homepage. So we're gonna go for, I think we're gonna call this good, and it fixes both of those. Right now, git remote, I cloned the original repo, whereas what I probably should have done is fork it first. Oh, apparently I already forked it, but I cloned the wrong one. So we'll need to get this URL. Apparently I'm already 2 commits behind. So we're just going to delete my fork and refork it. Even though I apparently only forked it within the last hour. Anyway, so we're gonna go to a new tab this time so I don't lose my issues. And we want to fork this. And okay, so we'll get the URL that we want. And Git remote gave us some nice helpful tips here. That's not what I want. I want this button. Alright, So git remote. -b. Okay, so that tells us that origin is the main one. And git remote add. We want to call you fork. And the URL. So git remote-v will now show us we have origin and fork. So we are on master, so we need to do a git checkout, create a new branch, fix blank dashboard page, and then we'll go ahead and check our status. It should just be the one file. Check our diff, just the 2 lines. So let's go check the contributing guide and make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so we forked it, named our branch. I would like to test it. Well, let's look at that for a second. So we've got our test running right here. And let's look at our file structure. So our scripts, test, it's doing things. I don't have to worry about that right now. So we've got our source. And in lib it looks like tests are JSON, but I don't see any tests in components. We do have stories. So I guess I can look and see what stories we have. Storybook. But I don't think this is something I would add a story for. Because at least looking at these, they look more like just testing the visuals without actually doing things like login. Yeah, we've got buttons, all the cards, which are just components. Apparently that's broken. Cool. I don't see. Yeah. I don't see any stories that would be relevant to this, and I don't really want to try and set that up. So we have this test folder. Here's the dashboard test. And so right now there's just a test for essentially a shallow render data. I don't even know what it's using mocks. Not even entirely sure what it's matching in this test. I guess I could look at the snapshot. Oh, nice. This is why I love snapshot tests. So we've got a snapshot here that says it should render without throwing an error, and it looks like it just doesn't render anything. So I'm not entirely sure that I want to dive into that right now. I don't want to try and add error handling as part of this, even though it pains me to not have error handling. But I'm going to try and limit my scope here, because Jason did a really awesome stream recently where he contributed to open source, and that was one of the things that he mentioned a lot, actually. Did he not call it Learn with Jason? Let's see if the bot is still there. Oh. Contribute to open source projects. So, it's this one. Yeah, so in this one, Jason goes in and contributes to an open source project. And in that process, he talks a lot about how important it is to keep your changes small so that they can actually be reviewed quickly. So let's go ahead and keep it small. So I would add tests, didn't change any APIs. Guess I could do a quick screen recording. Tests are still passing, for what that's worth. Storybook didn't help us here. Go ahead and run all tests, but they should all be passing. Okay. Don't think I have any lint warnings, but I guess I could explicitly check that. Bam, lint. And hopefully there's apparently a lot of warnings. But I don't think any of that is related to my work. But it's hard to tell with apparently 60,000 warnings. So I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Because I have no idea why that would be. Okay. We're also going to do a .take here. Which is how they assign people to issues in this project. So once, there we go, so the bot has assigned me. So I'm going to go ahead and edit my comment here and say, in digging into, what number is that one? 617. We'll say in fixing 617. And the same error. Yeah, it's the initial one causing a blank screen. No. Okay, single put the fixes. Sorry, file pretty minor. So now we come over here. I didn't see any like commit message standards in here. So let's see what they do in some of these commits. So these are PR titles. It's got a fix test one here. Let's go look at a PR. Alright, so it doesn't look like they have any sort of like feature fix. So we're going to say that we fixed blank dashboard page caused by null values. Commit that, push it up to fork, because I don't have permissions on origin. So GitHub, Genius94, opensauced, compare and pull request, and we want to go, I want to say to master, but maybe to this release branch. Let me ask in Discord real quick. Or release. I'll ask him in Discord while I fill this out. Hopefully Brian responds quickly, because he knew I was working on this. Alright, so we've got bug fixes. Okay. So fix 617 and what's this other one? 687. Adding extra property access. I guess I should say this sentence here, but with fix blank dashboard page issues. And this one can have the tickets. No, unless you count intended basic change. We'll go with no. I didn't add test because I need help, because I'm not really sure if this is something that they're currently testing. No documentation needed. Oh gosh. What GIF best describes this PR, or how it makes you feel? I am not well versed in the GIF worlds. But let's see if I can find one real quick. Not seeing a GIF that describes my feelings right now, so we'll just leave that blank. And we do just have the 2 lines with the extra checks. For now, we'll have this target master, because Brian hasn't responded yet. And it is after 5 o'clock, so I need to sign off here in a second. So we'll just go ahead and create this pull request. And oh my gosh, what is happening? That my branch is out of date with the base branch. No, this should be harmless enough. So, alright. I don't think so he said that if the issue has a milestone, then it needs to go to the release branch. But I don't think either of these issues have milestones. So we will call that good. And I think I'm going to call the stream there. Thanks, at least Ryan, for tuning in a little bit. Not sure if anyone else did, but Ryan sent a message in chat, so he had to open it at least a little bit. And if he's still listening, I hope his Fortnite games go well. But yeah, have a good night, y'all. I'll see you around.